Everyone has a dream.
Open up a youth center.
Fashion company.
A film actor.
But only some choose to chase them.
Do I really believe that I've got what it takes?
This is Dream Quest.
I think I'm gonna encounter something big here.
I've watched so many videos on this. I've never done this before, but I always thought what an incredible, unique experience compared to any other sport in the world. I really look forward to seeing how low we can go.
You know, really sleeping on it and really, actually knowing what it feels like. Maybe 220 feet. Gonna raise the bar up a little bit higher, you know?
Beautiful day, beautiful blue water. We're gonna give it our all. We're gonna give it our best shot.
When we got out into the deep water and anchored up, the water was breathtaking.
You guys did an amazing job practicing, but now it's time for the real deal. This is how your event is going to work. The people from Performance Freediving have predetermined some set levels to which you can attempt to dive. They will lower you to a level and bring you back up. They have a series of criteria to check in with you and make sure you're doing okay. If you pass those criteria, then they'll allow you to dive to the next level. Whoever goes the deepest wins.
And if you apply the techniques of relaxation and breathing that you've learned the last couple of days, you're going to do well. This event is not about who is the most athletic. It's primarily a psychological challenge. Everybody's on an equal playing field athletically. So as Courtney said, whoever goes the deepest wins. First place will receive 200 points, second place 150 points, third place 100 points, fourth place will receive 50 points. If you fail to finish in the top 4, you won't receive any points. Again, this is the first event in round 3. The winner of this event gets a big head start towards joining Sydney and Holden in the finals and getting a chance at winning your dream.
I kind of think we're going to get at least a couple in the 100+ foot range. I think we're going to see about 3 or 4 in that 60 to 80, possibly touching close to 100. And then probably a couple we're going to be dealing with some area issues in the, upwards of 30 foot range.
When we first started this process, we would never have imagined the cast could do what Kirk is now predicting they will do. In fact, he confided to me that he believes Matt could go to 150 feet.
Real simple, easy one to begin with. 5 meters, 16 inches.
When you're down there, it's just like, I am the titan of the sea, I am the goddess of the ocean, and nothing can stop me. I'm gonna punch a shark in the face.
You expect water to be very clear and you can see through it, but we were down there, you saw nothing but dark blue. It felt like you were in space almost.
The first couple of dives, they were a little scary at first.
I had a really good coach. Rodrigo was coaching me, and so the whole time he's just like eye contact. So I was just looking in his eyes.
Ready to roll?
I was a little too concentrated on everything. I was trying to think of, am I holding my breath long enough? Am I equalizing my ears? What's going on around me? Where's the instructor?
Going down was not an issue at all. It was the coming up that was really hard for me because I felt like I need to breathe.
I was honestly stressed that I didn't have enough air to make it back up to the surface.
When I was looking underwater, everyone was doing it easy, so I was like, I think something's wrong with my ear. And I got frustrated because they were telling me to relax and equalize, and I was like, I can't equalize. Just kept trying and trying. And then at the point where I felt like they didn't understand that I couldn't equalize, I was like, I'm done. I was like, I'm not gonna hurt myself to get last place. I'd rather be ready for tomorrow's competition.
They started out with 5 meters and they took us all 10 meters, and I felt comfortable with that. You see the markings on the rope at 5, at 10, at 15 meters, and they didn't look that far, but as you kept going down, you know, it got a little further, and then when you had to swim back up, it seemed like that distance was twice as far.
You know, in the early stages, I felt pretty confident because I have free dived before, and going, you know, those short, shallow distances, it's not that bad, but, you know, I could feel pain in my sinuses in my ear. You know, I was starting to get worried.
When I looked up, I freaked out, I panicked, and I was like, I'm not gonna make it to air in time. And the trick was like, just to keep my eyes closed on the descent, and then keep lock eyes with her whenever I came up. I learned how to train myself, mentally block out that fear, so I could go further and further each time.
When I finally hit that 15, which was 50-some feet, you know, that was more than twice of what I had thought. So I came up to the surface and I was just ecstatic. I doubled what I thought. I'm proud of myself. All I wanted to do was prove myself wrong. And that's one of the big things I learned while I was down here, that I can do that.
The revelation was that fear didn't need to be something that stopped me. It could be something that propelled me. So I think I learned a lot about myself and how much further I could push. I never knew I could go to 15 meters, 50 feet under the ocean easily under one breath, and man, it was cool.
Let's go on to 20 meters.
After about, 15 meters, which isn't much at all, my ears really started to, it's like somebody taking a screwdriver and stabbing into your ear, and I just, I didn't know if I could keep going, but I'm not gonna give up, so I just kept going.
When we got to 20 meters, I was feeling it. I started having chest contractions at 20 meters. And I was thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna do this.
As I started going deeper, I make it to about 20 meters. I just kept eye contact with my instructor, and that helped me a ton. I knew I was okay. Every moment I started to feel like I need to take a big breath, I just went, okay, I can push myself a little bit more, a little bit more.
On my 25-meter dive, I was going down, and I felt confident that I was just going to push it to the edge until I couldn't handle it anymore, because I can hold my breath, but the problem was my sinus and my ears, so, I was just going to keep going and going and going until I couldn't do it anymore. So after that 25 meters, I couldn't go on anymore. I was done. I was bleeding out of my nose and my mouth. My sinuses were killing me. I just knew, it's quits. Very frustrating, especially when Kirk was saying, I know you can get 150, I know you can push yourself, you can do this. And not being able to do it because of a physical thing was just very disappointing.
I felt bad. I know that Matt could have gone just as far, if not further than I did, if he didn't have problems equalizing, but his ears were sore from the previous day.
I was so excited. I was giddy whenever I came back up.
That's amazing. Could you have ever imagined you could have done that?
Ever. Couldn't even go to 12 feet yesterday.
I think that that's what helped me,
is definitely feeling like I was provided the right tools and explained how to use those tools to get out there and go as deep as I can without hurting myself.
She's gonna be going for 25.
About the 5th time going down, I was holding on and I felt my ears, the pressure got too much, and I didn't know what to do at that time, and I kept holding on. I was finally, stop, but I still kept going down at that point, so the pressure built up so much, and I didn't know what to do. So I'm looking at her and I'm going, my ears, and she's like, are you okay? And I'm going, I'm not okay. I stayed at that area for a few seconds, and then I shot straight up to the top, and I could tell I had done something to my ears. By the last time, I told her, we've got one more round. I'm not going to give up for myself, but I'm not going to do this to compete with anybody here. I'm going to do this for myself to see if I can at least get to where I was or a little bit further, and I made it to the furthest point the second time. So I'm happy with myself for following through.
So one by one, everybody reached their limit. Now there are only 2 left. I wasn't surprised that Holden was one of the 2, but all of us were shocked that Kylie Jean was one of the 2. Now it was one-on-one. Whoever could go to the deepest and return to the top unassisted would win the event.
Going for 30 here. Going for 30 meters here. 99 feet.
On my 30-meter dive, I was actually really surprised how comfortable I started feeling in the water. Even got to a point where I kind of looked up and you saw the water getting really light blue to darker and darker and darker, and it just felt really relaxing, and I was totally having fun doing that one.
35 meters, 116 feet.
I got further and further down there, and I just couldn't take it, and that's why I swam back up. And I got up there, the diver told me that I had gone to 33 meters, and that just killed me. Because I knew that I had it in me, and so I was disappointed in myself that I didn't have the mental fortitude to push it out a couple more meters.
Holden, hit 33 meters.
I was resolute that no matter what, I was gonna push it to 35 meters the next time.
And I definitely had a gut feeling it would come down to me and Holden.
This is the final dive.
Actually, I was feeling really good at 35 meters. So good that I actually pushed myself down a little bit deeper just to try and get that extra half meter. I started swimming up, and this is the way that my mind thinks. He was in front of me swimming all streamlined with his hands above him in dolphin kicking. I was like, well, if he's doing it, it's probably better than the way I'm doing it, so I should do it that way. So I tried one kick with that, and as soon as I did, my calf just seized up and cramped up on me. I couldn't move, and it was very painful. I'm 110 feet or so under the water, and I've got one leg to move up. I was trying as quick as I could to get to that surface because my body desperately wanted to get air. And about 20 feet from the surface was the last thing that I remember. Apparently I blacked out. One of the rescue divers said that my eyes rolled back into my head. So apparently it was serious.
1,000, 2 1,000, 3. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3. How'd that feel?
It always feels like there's something more you can give, but I couldn't this time. That was all I gave everything I had, and I was really happy with that.
Holden made it to 33 meters. I'm like, okay, I can do 35. If he made 33, I know I can do it. And I was doing totally fine on everyone except for the 35 meters down. It felt like I was like really close to the top, but I actually don't know how close I was. And my calf started cramping up, and I was like, oh no. And so I was trying really hard, and then I just felt like that really big urge to breathe. And my vision, it just started closing in like this. Then I let go of my rope. You're supposed to like kind of climb the rope, and I just started like swimming as best as I could. And so at that point, they assisted me up to the top. So when I got to the top, I was definitely a bit lightheaded, but I was really proud that I actually made it down the full 35. I was really bummed when I found out it didn't count, and I asked if we could do another dive, but they wouldn't let me.
Since neither Holden nor Kylie Jean made it to the surface on their final dive unassisted, the person who went the deepest on a previous dive wins. And that's Holden, since he went 10 feet deeper than Kylie Jean.
Oh, it was so close. I almost had it.
Kylie Jean made a comment to me today that she might not be able to run super fast, but she knew she was going to do well in this event because it would ultimately come down to mind control. And she knew it was going to come down to her and Holden. And I was so happy for her watching this happen because all the previous events she's really had to face all of her weaknesses. And today she was finally able to stand in one of her strengths.
Congratulations, you guys. All of you pushed yourself farther than you thought you could.
You guys were unbelievable out there today. Sean and I were watching it. We're so proud of y'all, but I'm sure after hours out in the ocean, you are exhausted and hungry. So we're gonna head back in, get you guys some food, and then Sean and I have a really great bonfire planned for y'all tonight.
Everyone after that challenge was feeling good and felt this newfound hope. And we had this guy called the Chad that was like, all right, dance party.
From the morning where they wanted to quit and they were all so broken and exhausted, and now here they all are dancing the night away as we go back, and they're just so full of joy. And each of them was so proud of themselves for whatever they accomplished. It was awesome to watch.
Next time on Dream Quest.
We've asked you guys all to come tonight to the bonfire with a specific fear in mind.
My biggest fear is to let myself down.
I don't want to cause anyone else any more pain.
Go!
I got to an awful start to begin with.
Give up! It was excruciating to watch.
Is there an area in your life right now you feel like giving up?
I was that close before I came here.